The Detroit Pistons have not won a playoff game since the 2008 Eastern Conference Finals against the Boston Celtics. The starting five for that game: Chauncey Billups, Richard Hamilton, Antonio McDyess, Tayshaun Prince, and Rasheed Wallace. The last member of that starting five retired all the way back in 2016, 6 years ago. It's been a long time, Pistons fans, far too long. But thankfully, there is in fact a path forward. Pistons general manager Troy Weaver has the Pistons in position to become a force in the East for years to come. The key, the ultimate X factor, is already in place in the form of Cade Cunningham, the wunderkind point guard who at age 20 has already established himself as a franchise player. Cunningham's performance after the All-Star break turned heads as he averaged a dazzling 21-7-6 to close his rookie season. But what's next for Detroit? Here are 4 simple steps the Pistons can take to expedite their rebuild in the coming months. Follow these and contention will be just around the corner. Warning you now, they're going to need a little dash of luck to pull it off. Step 1, trade Jeremy Grant to the Portland Trail Blazers for their top draft pick. The reports are already out there. We already know they love Jeremy Grant. Make the trade. Just do it! Now that Trailblazers pick is subject to lottery balls, much like ours, but hey, it's most likely to wind up being the 7th overall selection, so let's go with that for the purpose of this exercise. Step 2 is get lucky in the lottery again. But the Pistons don't have to win it this time. Just stay in that top 3. This will ensure either Chet Holmgren, Jabari Smith, or Paolo Banchero ends up in Detroit. It's choose your own adventure here. But let's just say the Pistons end up with Jabari Smith, the dynamic 6'10 forward out of Auburn. Jabari Smith, welcome to Detroit. Step 3, use that Portland pick on a shooting guard. Now the Pistons get really lucky here, with multiple intriguing 2 guards expected to be available in the middle of the lottery. For this exercise, I'm going to roll with Shaedon Sharpe. Sharpe is a former #1 overall recruit of Kentucky, though he never did suit up for the snake oil salesman in Lexington. He is a 6'6 guard with a 7-foot wingspan who can jump out of the gym. Now Sharpe can get to the basket at will. The only major knock on his game really is that he can get a little too excited and erratic. But don't you think the human Xanax, Cade Cunningham, might help mitigate those jitterbug tendencies? Shaedon Sharpe, welcome to Detroit. Step 4, sign DeAndre Ayton. The Phoenix Suns center will be a restricted free agent and could prove cost prohibitive for the Suns to retain. The Pistons are going to have plenty of cap space to max out Ayton. The guy turns just 24 years old this summer. The former #1 overall pick is a rock down low. Now, is Ayton a superstar as once projected? Maybe not, but he is an almost automatic 17-10 every single night. And my favorite part, the guy makes his free throws over 75% for his career. Ben Wallace, I loved ya. Andre Drummond, I never did. But man, I gotta say I love a center who makes free throws. DeAndre Ayton, welcome to Detroit. The offseason is complete. Troy Weaver is heralded a wizard once more. So what do these new-look Pistons look like? Look at this absolute masterpiece of a roster. Cade Cunningham at point, Shaedon Sharpe at the 2, Saddiq Bey is our sharpshooting wing, Jabari Smith at the 4, and DeAndre Ayton holding it together down low. Now in this scenario, I'm playing Marvin Bagley big minutes off the bench. He would essentially play starter minutes in that 6th-man role. Technically, yes, the Pistons will have to re-sign him too, and we skip that step, but let's bear with the exercise. Isaiah Stewart is perfectly cast as a menacing, hard-nosed center off the bench for a team that really doesn't need him to score. And Killian Hayes, I guess we'll see about Killian Hayes, but he's there. The average age of this group is under 22. And this would perhaps be a more frightening reality if Cade Cunningham and Saddiq Bey didn't have the souls of 87-year-old men. This group could immediately be a problem for teams in the Eastern Conference, and with their ages and contract situations, it is a group that can be held mostly together for the next half-decade. Do all of this, Pistons, and that winless streak in the playoffs will end in short order. We have just set up the Detroit Pistons for a return to glory. Golf clap for us. Get after it, Mr. Weaver.